G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game of Age of Mythology Retold. Today, we have some incredible players for you. Starting off in the north of the map in the color red, playing as Set, we have got Gatto. And in the south of the map, in the color blue, playing as Hades. Representing Team GL, it is the one, the only, TheViper. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally got him back. It's been years since I've had the pleasure of introducing him, and I tell you what, I'm excited for this. We get to see the man, the myth, the legend in his natural habitat, playing Age of Empires and Age of Mythology games. It's time. Now, before we get too deep into it, I just want to start by saying, look, there might be a little bit of hiccup today. Unfortunately, for anyone who's been following the lore, I had a 4090. I sent it back to get repaired. They sent me back a whole brand new one. Anyway, new 4090 today has just stopped working. So it's been about, I don't know, 3 weeks. And, well, we're going to have to send that bad boy off. So I'm using a new graphics card. I've gone in, reinstalled drivers, all that stuff. So hopefully everything works. Hopefully it's all good. But it might not be. So we'll have to wait and see. I've already noticed that FPS is down a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not too fussed about that. Anyway, there you go. That's a caveat. Apologies in advance. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. We have got ourselves one of the biggest names in the game, Mr. Viper. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes, because he's playing AoM, not his natural game. Obviously, AoE 2 is where he calls home most of the time, but with AoM Retold coming out, even the big names are making their way over just to see if they can maybe test their luck a little bit on the ranked ladder. Maybe if they perform well, then perhaps that parlays into a bit of a Red Bull Walla Lol attempt. I don't actually know if Viper's qualified yet for Walla Lol for AoE 2. I specifically was like keeping track of the announcements, and I never actually saw his name come up. I saw like a lot of other names, even some names I didn't even recognize, but I never saw his name. So who knows? And I think I saw like the last chance qualifier. I'm gonna have to double check that. I'm sure he'll be there. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about what we've got today, what Viper's plan is. We can see the temple's gonna be coming down. Does the right thing, moves it away from the gold mine. I often find I build my temple too close to my gold mine, and it's not the best. It's not the best. There's always a little bit of pathing issues. Now, one thing that I'm not seeing here is a Vault of Erebus opening. You can see we've got Vault of Erebus here. I can't actually hover over it and show you what it says. It doesn't tell you. But keep an eye out for that video. It's going to be coming out shortly. It's going to teach you how to go for a really quick age up and get that Vault of Erebus tech. For anybody wondering what that tech actually gives you, let's just jump in quickly and take a look. It gives you 2 gold trickles. So if we have a look how much these vills are giving at the moment, these are gathering at 0.85. So it's like a 2.5 gold upgrade, and you can get it really early. You can get it super duper early. Age up's coming through though. It is going to be Ares that comes in here for the Viper. Meanwhile, for Gatto, over on the side of the Egyptians, he looks like he's going to be going up with Anubis, and we hear the Sentinel power being used. This, to me, tells a couple of things about Viper and what his plan is. So, normally, when you're playing Hades, you've got a couple of options as to how you want to play the matchup. One of the things that we have seen players do is look to take a second town center, especially in the middle of the map, and then look to use that the Sentinel, look to try and get those out into the middle of the map, because how are you going to deny that? It becomes very easy to defend, but obviously not going to be seeing that today with the Viper. He could always look to just try and take something a little bit more passive, but against Set in particular, you have to be very careful about going for fast expands because of what we have right here, a hippopotamus of Set. These guys do quite a fair bit of damage. At the moment, they don't seem to do much damage, but that's because we're in the first stage. But now if we have a look, they do 6 damage a pop, so they are quite the formidable fighters. But now Cyclops makes his way to the north. Age Up came through at the exact same time. Second town center in the middle of the map. Gatto going to be going for it here. So looking to be very, very aggressive. Can always defend with snakes if he needs to. Hippopotamus will be brought back to eat as well. Now remember, when you are playing Set, the bigger the animal, the better it's going to be with regard to your conversion. So at the moment, the priest is gathering up a zebra. It's 200 food. He's going to get less value off this this than if he was to go for a hippopotamus, which is 400 food. And of course, the biggest and most amazing to go for is the elephant, because I think they're like 800 food, 850 food, something kind of crazy. But let's check in and see what the Viper's up to. Ajax is on the way. Now, another thing to note, I don't know exactly how good the Viper is at AoM. I didn't even check his stats. I just saw that he was playing a game live, and I said I need to cast that game. So yeah, there's a little bit of an issue at the moment with AoM. I'm confident the devs are going to get it fixed. My main question is just going to be when, which is, you know, it's always the question, right? When replays go out of sync. So I've been downloading replays from Age of Mythology or AOM.GG. They just go out of sync. Which is like a pretty big issue because, you know, these games were uploaded yesterday and they're going out of sync already. But speaking of out of sync, have a look at this. Villager's going to be out of sync as they run their way away from that hippopotamus working its magic. The Viper, unfortunately, biting off what? There was a hippopotamus right here and it just disappeared. I don't know where it went. Let's ride on board with the Viper. Yeah, it's definitely not there. A bit of a ghost hippopotamus. We've seen a couple of those. Ajax looking to put the pressure onto the Anubites, forcing them back. Obviously going to be able to deal with all of this threat. You can see how much damage he does, but getting surrounded here, you can see, look at the damage against those Anubites. They're going to have to jump to safety. Ajax is, look at this, he's getting a little bit bugged out. Really well played there by Gatto. Actually had a Viper targeting one of the Anubites that was further away and then blocked him in with the other 3 units so that the Ajax hero couldn't attack those other units, or that one unit that he was focusing. Second town center is now up as well for Gatto. So looking to take advantage of that aggression that Set is famous for. Also keeps the scout, the Gazelle scout, just over here on the second TC, just to make sure the Viper is yet to expand to it. But the Viper has got other ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, the south of the base, an armory is constructed. And he is slowly on the way to the heroic age. Nothing clicked up just yet. And hold on a minute, we've got Achilles out right now here for the Viper. Second hero is out. I'm loving this playstyle. I'm a big fan of it. And I've got reason. He's going for a second TC as well? Hold on, the Viper's going for a second TC. Oh, we've got, it's going to be, I thought it was Shifting Sands, but it's not. He's used the vision, which has revealed this area. What the Viper doesn't realize is these villagers can fight back against the serpents. The serpents take extra damage against villagers, and they only do 0.1 damage multiplier against them. So he's going to bring back Achilles here to try and defend this, but I think the villagers would have been able to do a decent job themselves. Age up now, coming through for the Viper. Looks like he's going to be going into... Oh, there we go. He switches it up. Goes into Apollo. So going to be unlocking the Manticore. I'd love to see him shift a couple villages over onto the temple, which is exactly what he's done. Unlocking that Manticore and looking to get plenty of them out is definitely a good sign. Villager count starting to move in favor of Gatto in the north of the map. We can see that Gatto yet to click up at this stage of the game. So still just going to be running that classical era, looking to try and just keep things basic for the moment. Meanwhile, Viper's going big. Have a look at this. 1, 2, 2 archery ranges and a military academy. Achilles might go down here. Got to be careful with him. Ajax coming in to back him up. These, if I remember correctly, the heroes do heal slowly over time. So I might be remembering incorrectly here. They're looking to try and chase down the Anubites. Probably going to be going down here. There goes Achilles. And one of the Anubites goes down. Second one almost certainly going to be going down here as Ajax gets the kill. Definitely a little bit relieving to actually take them out. But meanwhile, in the middle of the map, have a look at this. We've got double spearmen together with a couple priests forcing back the Viper once again. But don't worry, Viper. You don't need any food here. Manticores, if I remember correctly, cost wood and favor. That's all you need, baby. Whole bunch of Manticores and you'll be fine. Let's take a look. It is going to be wood and favor. So Viper's got 43 favor in the bank at the moment. Not a whole lot of wood. So he'll need to reconsider, but he's going to slowly work back these serpents. Manticore now coming out, looking to regain control. Still got chickens back in the base if he wants to fall back to them. Berries, slowly working through those as well. Meanwhile, more units continue rallying in. Let's check in with Gatto. You can see those resource numbers are slowly building for him. He will be thinking about going to the heroic age. The question is, which direction does he go? Villagers surrounding the Anubite. Got to be careful not to lose them. Nice little micro from the Viper, pulling back 2 vills. He could look to try and get a leap with the Anubite, but Anubite's going to go down. Ajax here as well to secure the kill. And we're all good. Now, I was talking about something earlier, but I can't remember exactly what it was. And I felt like it was pertinent, but here we are anyway. So there was something that I was talking to you guys that I wanted to talk about. I forgot what it is. I'm sorry. Priests. Trying to force back the Manticore. We'll be able to find it. Relic. We never did a relic review. I'm sorry. What do we got here? I can't even see. I'm trying my best to hover over the top. We got the arrows of the alpha. Don't worry. We'll worry about the alphas later. We got betas to worry about right here with these priests. Priests slowly taking down the Manticore. Not a whole lot of damage that really gets done to it. The Manticores are quite tanky even against the priests. Meanwhile, Serpent's still yet to be cleared out. Second TC, still not online for the Viper. Continues to fall behind on that villager count. 36 versus 53 now. Quite a bit of difference between these two. So Viper will need to look to try and find damage. Age Up is coming through as well for Gatto. It's going to be Nephthys. So Scorpion Man going to be on the menu, as well as our Ancestors. That'll be something that we look for. But meanwhile, looks like Achilles is going to be coming out. Could look to try and clear these Serpents for once and for all. Hippopist? That's not an easy word to say. Hippopist? Hippospist? Do you say the S? I feel like if you put the S in, you probably say the S, right? Like we're not just leaving letters out of these words. And there's the Age Up through. Now, Nephthys is online. Have a look at all of these animals from set. So damn many. What have we got? Is that Ancestors on the south side? No, it's going to be Ancestors in the middle. Yeah, bit of a weird Ancestors play here. I think this is a massive mistake from Gatto. I mean, he's spotted out the Manticore, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's called for Ancestors, but you got to remember, Ancestors last 60 seconds after they spawn. It's not a huge time that you've got them online. So the fact that he's managed to bait out the Ancestors with only a single Manticore, that's a pretty big win for the Viper. Normally, you'd love to combo that with a push. You know, get some siege going, get some priests out, and then call those Ancestors in as that push is really starting to come to shove. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, I think that might have been a fortress that the Viper was thinking about placing down. Not going to be happening. More Ancestors coming out. Scorpion Man's here as well. As we've also got a couple of giraffes looking to get in the mix. Viper, you got to be careful, my friend. You got Vils nearby. Tox is going to try their best to hold the line here, working their magic on those ancestral minions. But there they go. Look at that. I mean, this is why I just didn't see the value in that earlier call of the Ancestors. Viper losing a couple of villagers out here. He's down 18 villagers at the moment, 40 to 60, struggling to keep his head above water. We'll say that much, at least from an economic perspective. Does have a little bit of an advantage in the sense that he is playing Hades. He's looking to try and play into this ranged composition. He's picked up his free ballistics, which is going to mean these units are heat-seeking with their arrows. They will hit every single shot. Camel's now going to start coming out as well. Viper starting to look a little bit scary, though, as this number of Toxes continues to build here in the middle of the map. Upgrades now coming through. Take a look at that. We've now got our heavy Toxes online. These guys don't mess around. Keep in mind, these guys have got a very low multiplier against the unit that they counter, so they do very decent base damage, which means they pretty much counter everything. As long as you don't have that too high of a pierce armor, you should be okay. So if we have a look here at the Camel Rider as an example, it's got 35% pierce armor. It's not that high. Chiron's coming out. At first I was like, Centaur? How are you getting Centaurs out right now? And then I realized it's a hero. It's Chiron. Meanwhile, Migdal Stronghold now online for Gatto. Does Gatto think about going to the Mythical Age? That could be a decent opportunity for him to really try and cause a bit of havoc here for the Viper. I guess for the moment, though, he can probably just stick with a defense in the Heroic Age, and he should be okay, but have a look at this as Viper continues putting on the pressure. Second town center is now online. Farm's looking to come online as well. Villager difference still 20, so he needs to try and find a way back into it. But here comes the Pestilence. Called down. Going to pause production for all of these production facilities. Toxes underneath the town center, cleaning up the army that is here. I'd love to see him trying to snipe down a couple of these villagers. For anybody wondering about Pestilence, target an enemy town to infect it with the plague. The Pestilence prevents buildings from firing projectiles and slows unit production. Camel's now coming through. He's going to look to try and kite away from this position. There's plenty of camels down here. He's got Chiron to help him out, though. He's going to look to continue kiting. More and more military coming out, and I think the Viper's mass is going to be very quickly eaten as Chiron abandons ship and says, see you later. We'll worry about you a little bit sooner. We've now got a Migdal Stronghold coming down over on the west side of the map. Chiron going to be the only one who makes it out. Town center towards the north, still not yet taken. Pestilence still going on this town center back here on Gatto, or at least on this base back here. At least it still says that they're infected. I'm not 100% sure. if they are still infected. But now Viper going to start mixing in a couple of hoplites. This will help him out in towards the middle. The underworld passage has come down. He wants to make a connection. So we see that we've got the underworld passage back here in the base. He could look to try and evacuate if he wanted to. If he doesn't think he can get out, ideally, you'd probably want to try and keep this alive. This is very important. A huge ticket item here for the Viper to be using that. And he is going to get the evacuation out, but he evacuates all of the units back out. He says, see you later. And then he says, how you going, mate? Scorpion Man walks around in a circle, yet to actually get some decent damage down for him. Have a look at this Viper working it through. More and more units continue to come out the secret passageway, the underworld passage. I tell you what, the numbers are starting to look more and more in the Viper's favor as he looks to take Age of Mythology by storm. I guess you could probably say he's the most famous. I don't know if you'd call him the most famous RTS player in history. How would you define fame? You'd probably say like Boxer, right? From StarCraft would be the most famous in history. But even then, you know, like from a contemporary position, would you say it's Boxer? Probably not. If you think an RTS, what do you think of like maybe Serral? Probably, but you know, when it comes to like your goats, you'd have to say the Viper's there. Even though he's a bit of a snake, you'd still have to say he's also a goat. And it's hard being more than one thing, but look, 2024, you're allowed to be what you like. That's what we tell the kids these days. That's what I tell my kids. You know, you can be whatever you like. I don't mind. Meanwhile, the push continues. Viper, you gotta be careful. Don't leave your toxins out to dry. I love that he's bringing a little bit of a relic donation here as well for Gatto. Let's check what relic exactly he's taking with him. He's got the arrows of the Alpha. Increase the ranged attack of buildings. This is quite a nice little donation that Viper's bringing. What else have we got on the map? We've got the Gungnir Odin Spear. Increases the attack of counter-cavalry infantry units. Quite a nice one here, especially when you've got your hoplites. Nose of the Sphinx, not too bad. And I think there might be a single relic that is in here. Indeed, there is. It's going to be the Dwarven Calipers. Siege weapons being slightly cheaper. Not the best. Viper with no walls up at the moment. He's going to get caught out of position. Raids coming through from multiple angles. Meanwhile, towards the top side, Viper's still yet to find a huge amount of villagers. He's managed to actually bring the villager count back into a reasonable... I don't know where did he actually kill the vills of his enemy? Nice wall right here. He's actually got the gate, but it doesn't even matter. It looks like the vills are going to be struggling there. Chaos all over the map. Keep in mind the underworld passage still stands strong. Migdal Stronghold now going to become the center of attention for the Viper. Plenty of units in queue here for him. Neither player looking for that mythical age just yet. Even though we got lots of food in the bank for the Viper and lots of gold in the bank for Gatto, both players unable to age up just yet. Plenty of units coming out, being rallied straight into that underworld passage. Couple of chariots. We're going to keep those vills off any hunts, and there it is, the Petrobolos. I nailed it. Look at that. Didn't even have to click on the unit. The Petrobolos coming out, taking advantage of those Dwarven Calipers, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at this. The Dwarven Calipers definitely got to be an S tier, right, guys? Right? Well, I mean, to be fair, it's actually pretty good. I don't know if you'd call it S tier, though. Maybe like a... It depends on the civ that you're playing, right? I'd say probably a B. 20% is meaningful, though, and you are typically going to make siege when these games do go a little bit longer. So, Petrobolas, very, very nice. So, Viper now going to be forcing his opponent off the west side of the map. Does take the villager lead, has the military lead as well. And I'm starting to think Gatto might be in a little bit of trouble here. He was looking good earlier on, but the Viper has managed to macro his way into a very solid mid-game position here. 18 minutes in, the score lead is now in his favor. The farms have well and truly come online for him as well, so his economy is really starting to kick. He's got to be careful with the Petrobolos, though, up quite close to his opponent. We do see chariots together with a couple of axemen looking to get in close, and we'll be able to find it. Oh, look at the pop on top of his enemy's army. Says, no way, mate, not happening. Don't even think about it. All of the hoplites cleaning up the infantry. The camels go down without even a flash of blood. You don't even see it. And that's going to be it. The Viper takes victory with an incredible comeback from behind. Beautiful stuff from the Snake. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game from the Viper. Let's take a look at how that one went. Have a look at the base for Gatto. Farming economy definitely looking pretty good here for him. Was just that second forward town center. You know, the realistic thing is once you lose this position, that's pretty much it all over Red Rover because you haven't taken this second one at the back. Meanwhile, the Viper, he's been very safe with his two town centers and was only ever looking to expand. Really liked the way that the Underworld Passage worked as well. I think I was a little bit worried about the timing for it. It almost looked like he had gone a bit too early but he managed to keep it alive. Did a great job with it. Well played to him. Let's take a look at the post-game. Have a look at that village account, shall we? Because that village account is going to tell a true story. Look at this. 2 town centers. Viper obviously denied his one, but does manage to get that third age a little bit ahead of his opponent. Villager villager gap about 20 the whole way up until a couple of raids. Very successful for the Viper. Manages to find his way back into it. When it comes to military units, we can see he had that nice big lead Gatto did. And then once the third age hit, the battle struck, and the tides turned quickly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it there, but of course, we will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed this casted game of Age of Mythology Retold, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.